Retro Road Trip.
Okay, thank you.
You want to put on the bomb suit, do some push-ups?
Draw that day.
Jim was doing your using bombs. Had a bottom.
This is kind of a... Is the suit cool then?
You're the controller.
Yeah, we have that.
They have some that. Leave me alone. Yeah, but then you have to be like, oh, I want to go. Or like when they need a brand new.
You comfortable?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, you got a bunch of hay in there.
I don't know where that came from.
Snowbirds.
gentlemen, the jumpers have left their aircraft. In just a minute, Young Macy singing our national anthem. If you would all please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the heart of the brave?
Let's hear it for Macy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of our other performers in search of these uplifting conditions. But what's really surprising to many is that with a little bit of practice and some aviator magic, you can trick the sailplane into doing an air show. What you saw, we'll see today, is an aerial ballet that begins with tow aircraft pulling the sailplane aloft into the sky about 4,000 feet above the ground. Upon release from the tow, as the rope drops away and the tow plane dives for the airport, he begins the show. If you look close, you'll see all the classics: Cuban H, slow rolls, inverted flight, the split S, wingovers, cloverleaf loops, and slow-speed thermaling turns. This sailplane has a maximum glide ratio of 36:1 in the configuration flown today. That means for every 1,000 feet of altitude, it can glide 7.5 miles forward. Today's flight will last about 12 minutes. Small pyrotechnic devices on the wing generate the smoke that is just enough for you to see the aerial pattern of the maneuvers. The smoke runs out before the aircraft runs out of energy, but by then you should have a clear view as he enters the final pattern at 200 to 300 feet from the ground and glides to a stop. Hope you enjoy his show. You'll see later he was circling the just-in-time skydivers on their way down. Chuck used to be the team leader for Team America for many, many years. Certainly one of the finest airshore pilots in the United States today. A backpack has been found and is at the information booth. To claim it, you may go there and describe it. maneuver the aircraft to the edge of its operating envelope. Today's show will be performed at speeds as fast as 700 miles per hour and as slow as 100 miles per hour. Most of the maneuvers you will see here today demonstrate the aircraft's capabilities in the tactical arena and are employed during combat and training flights. The aircraft is approximately 8 miles out. Stand by for the Super Hornet. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the right.
Okay, what's over there?
Whoop. Excuse me, please direct your attention to the left. You will see the Super Hornet approaching for a low pass. You will hear the Super Hornet's two GEF 414 turbofan engines spool up to their maximum power as Marcia selects afterburner and pulls the nose to 60 degrees nose high, giving you a close-up look at the most capable strike fighter in the world. Vertical climb. During this maneuver, the aircraft will approach you at nearly Mach 1, demonstrating the use of speed to surprise an enemy. You may notice the white vapor coming off the Super Hornet indicating that it is close to the speed of sound. Marcia and Heed will be very careful not to exceed the speed of sound because the subsequent sonic boom would shatter the windows of cars and buildings in the surrounding area. Keep in mind the speed at which they are flying is only half what the aircraft is capable of as they pass in front of you. Marcia and Heed will pull the aircraft into the vertical, completing a square loop. Marcia and Heed are now setting up for a double emblem at the completion of their loop. The Super Hornet's agility and power enable it to sustain maximum performance turns in the vertical, taking advantage of altitude that the enemy may not have the ability to use. Now watch as Marcia selects full afterburner, pulls the Hornet up for the first element. Wings level, and pulls the Hornet into a second emblem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Hornet double emblem. Few aircraft in the world today that can do the double emblem. Engines produce over 41,000 pounds of thrust in full afterburner. This allows the aircraft to sustain 7.5 the force of gravity in a tight turn. Whether in a dogfight or avoiding surface air missiles, the agility of the Super Hornet is to turn in a very tight space, giving it a tremendous tactical advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, to your left, watch as Marcia and Heed center from the left, roll into a 90-degree angle of bank, and pull the stick into their lap for the Super Hornet minimum radius turn. you a close-up view of the Super Hornet in its carrier landing configuration. Pay special attention to the tail hook at the rear of the aircraft. The hook, as it is known to naval aviation, has been designed to stop the 44,000-pound aircraft in just a few hundred feet when catching a wire aboard the aircraft carrier. Should the hook miss the wires, the Super Hornet is easily capable of taking flight again in just a few seconds. Marcia and Heed will demonstrate this ability by performing a half-cubit 8 as they clean up the aircraft. Now look to your right as Marcia and Heed fly by in the carrier configuration. The Super Hornet will now show his ability to turn on a dime. Watch as Marcia and Heed approach from the right and rapidly pull the aircraft into the vertical at show center. They will then roll the aircraft. Marcia and Heed are now setting up for the high alpha pass. This maneuver will show you the incredible slow speed and handling characteristics of the Super Hornet. No other aircraft in the world would attempt to maneuver at this slow speed at nose attitude. However, the F-18 Super Hornet remains completely controllable with 2 digital flight control computers aiding Marcia in keeping this 40,000-pound plane flying at less than 100 miles per hour. Just past show center, Heed will call for afterburners, and you will see the Super Hornet perform a half-cubit 8. Demonstrating the aircraft's ability to quickly accelerate and dominate the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left, the Super Hornet high alpha pass and a half-cubit 8. naval aviator is not complete till his or her aircraft is back aboard is floating home. The approach to the carrier is often the most dangerous part of a naval aviator's mission. Landing your aircraft at 130 miles per hour. Extremely challenging in a matter of free fall. Ladies and gentlemen, take pride in watching Marchetti approach from the left at 400 feet for the carrier break and touch and go. Super Hornet you saw here today is one actually used to train pilots and weapons systems operators at VFA 122 in Lemoore, California. Marcia and he currently serve as instructor aircrew at VFA 122 and spend most of their time teaching new pilots and weapons systems operators how to employ the Super Hornet. Currently there are 4 operational Super Hornet squadrons in the Navy. Several of the squadrons are presently deployed overseas in support of numerous operations, including Operation Iraqi Freedom. On behalf of the United States Navy, we thank you for allowing us to demonstrate the F-18 Super Hornet here in your Kern. We appreciate your continued support as we defend our great country from those who would do us harm. An action-packed routine. With gut-wrenching, crowd-thrilling skydancing and pyro-acrobatics, meaning every flight day or night is complemented with a full array of airborne-launched pyrotechnics. Steve began flying in 1980 in a Balanca Citabria. Self-taught himself aerobatics with only 12 hours of total flight time. Entered the aerobatic box with a lump shavak. This maneuver, he has no control over the airplane at all. His next maneuver, he will re-enter from our left. Notice that tail wag. Into his hammerhead.
Still want that airbag?
A 45-degree roll to a 2-point roll to an outside 5/8 loop.
Wow, push that G.
aircraft once again into the vertical for a snap roll and a lump shavak. Very graceful 4-point hesitation roll. And on the downside, he'll be re-entering. Hesitation roll to the vertical 1/2 roll to a Humpty bump. It looks like Steve's having a great time. picks up speed for his next maneuver. Steve, an accomplished airshow performer for many years, will also be doing our twilight show later this evening with pyrotechnics. The all-new Zlin 50 LS, an all-metal low-wing monoplane, as was the original Wild Thing, built in Czechoslovakia exclusively for extreme aerobatics. The new Wild Thing features 300-plus horsepower and the brightest paint job in the business. Metallic violet and purple white with a sunfire yellow pearl lightning bolt. The new Wild Thing is referred to as a pure Hollywood by airshow fans. Built originally for the Devils Unimax, a European aerobatic team made up of former world aerobatic champions, this aircraft served as the team's backup, the fifth aircraft.
Showing everything, chamber.
Slide maneuver, let's go straight up. Mike says Barry holding on right there as he pushes over the nose, gaining airspeed, and the airplane flying again.
Mama! That was the plane you were talking about. Like that one?
With us today as Mike performs precision aerobatic maneuvers as well as tumbling gyroscopic precision maneuvers. Okay, the whoop is on. Mike's diving down for airspeed. Watch now as Mike pulls into a flat inverted spin.
Wow. Oh my God. Look at that.
Mike will now climb up in the air, gaining airspeed, and go into a tumbling maneuver, a gyroscopic precision maneuver. We're looking for. Watch now as Mike dives back down from leading airspeed and repositions the aircraft. Mike is a former Air Force fighter pilot. He flew Air Force where he had to one-time bail out at a high-speed ejection. And we think he's a little shorter because he did that. Yeah, it might make you a little bit shorter. As he comes across the loop in an 8-point roll. as he just completely pulls straight out of it. No problem at all. Mike will now gain speed and climb up, reposition himself for the next maneuver. There's that tumble. There he goes. Okay, Mike's gonna come around and give us a nice torque roll. Mike has pulled a positive 9 Gs and a negative 4 Gs. For those unfamiliar with Gs, that's what he's pulling, his body 9 times the weight of gravity. So he weighs 150 pounds, multiply that by 9. Up he goes, a torque roll, going climbing straight up. The H54, he has 330 horsepower, just keeps on climbing straight to the heavens. Windy up there. Yeah. Mike pulls straight vertical, right into a tail slide. He'll come right back down through the smoke. Now he's slowing down. The plane's coming backwards right now. Watch as he falls through the smoke. Whoa, there he is. Straight down, gain that airspeed, straight airspeed for altitude now. The famous outside loop by the great Waldo Pepper. Remember him? Four-point roll on top. Watch as Mike comes back. Inverted. For a number of gyroscopic precision maneuvers as he tumbles the airplane. Okay, he's going to have to reposition himself, tighten up them seatbelts as he comes around for the tumble maneuver. There's that tumble, look how he falls. Gyroscope, he just moving, all over. Negative, positive G's, pulling at Mike's body as he's going through the air. Get your cameras ready as Mike's coming in low. About 2 minutes to the end for Mike and Greg. Mike slowing the airplane down. Watch how she pulls that nose up into the Cobra maneuver. There it is, Cobra. Mike's going to hammer red turn. Get your cameras ready for the photo pass. He's going to knife edge across. Show center. Mike can't hear you, but he can sure see you. To the bottom of the airplane, there's a window where he can see you. Give Mike a big wave. Watch Mike as he pulls the wing up. There's a nice photo shot right there. Give Mike a wave. He's flying his heart out for you today. All right, Mike's going to come around for one more pass. Get your cameras ready. Here he comes. Inverted. There, wait at him. He saw you coming through the window. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Mike really appreciates your appreciation. And he'll be on the ground, sign autographs, and meet with the young kids. Thank you.
Can't wait to get to my house. Richard's gonna do
In the smallest area for maximum spectator entertainment. The new gold F-260 has original theme graphics to enhance the airshow performance. The F-260 aerobatic airshow flight profile consists of over 25 military high-performance maneuvers in 10 minutes. As Chuck departs. From your left, Chuck Lischer and the F-260 Warrior. As Chuck brings the aircraft into a vertical roll, snap over top, and spins down. Followed by the F-260 lock-on, consisting of 1/4 steep turn, pull over the top, and a 1.5 roll. As Chuck descends from the right. Notice the smooth precision as Chuck pulls the aircraft into the vertical. Or in view, a very beautiful victory roll. His next maneuver called the guns reverse, a climbing roll to a hammerhead. Followed by his 4-point hesitation roll. his re-engaged turn. He's performing a half Cuban 8 as he pulls the aircraft 45 degrees nose low, rolling back to the upright position. Preparing for his over-the-top double reverse, a loop with a snap roll. Look at the exceptional low altitude as Chuck passes show center. His loop with a snap roll on top. As Chuck performs what he calls Chuck's hard-way turn, a quarter roll, three-quarter roll away. As he returns to the show line from the left. Chuck just performed his double reverse, the high G turn over the top with a 1.5 snap roll. Switching to a gun reverse. Notice the performance Chuck gets out of that F-260 Warrior. No pilot in the world has more hours in that type aircraft. Once again, as he comes from the right, notice the exceptionally low altitude as he enters the flight center. With a very beautiful 16-point hesitation roll to the right. He'll commence his re-engaged turn with a 1/2 Cuban 8 to bring the aircraft back to the show line and show center from your left.
Go tell Mom I'm not a Christian because I like.
His fighter roll, inverted to inverted. Chuck is now proceeding with his attack reverse. He'll be coming in for his last pass. His very, very well-known across this country, Chuck's F-260 Warrior photo pass, yawing knife edge. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, yawing knife edge. Right to left, Chuck Lischer. Give him a big hand. Test and Evaluation Force, and under the administrative control of Commander Naval Air Forces Pacific, moved to China Lake in '56 to take advantage of the vastly improved ranges and instrumented facilities. Today, the squadron is commanded by Captain W.C. Tallman. Today, 50 officers and more than 300 DX-9 Vampire enlisted civilian personnel support more than 20 aircraft, including the F-18 Hornet, F-14 Tomcat, EA-6B Prowler, and the AV-8B Harrier. The squadron has kept pace with change and improvements of Navy and Marine Corps strike aircraft and attack helicopters, conducting independent operational test and evaluation of all air-to-air aircraft and air-to-air weapons. New aircraft, such as the recently tested F-18ENF Super Hornet and software upgrades to aircraft and weapons alike, have led to great successes in the recent Iraqi conflict.
After contact on 348-1. Okay. And yeah, I'll stay here.
And for all you young girls that are looking at being pilots, let me tell you, Lieutenant Colonel Don Dunlop is now about 2 minutes out from your left, from the south, in an F-15 Eagle.
What was that for?
Her primary task at Air Force Base is in the Test and Evaluation Squadron, similar to the activities you see here at China Lake.
Thank you.
march back to Edwards Air Force Base. We certainly want to thank you for stopping by today. Our next performer gave it a shot just a...
And Rob is on the roll. Ladies and gentlemen, from your right, Rob Harrison, the Tumbling Bear. That was a takeoff with a vertical pole with one roll on the upline. Right now, Rob's going to go up a little higher, and he's going to get some more altitude, which he's then going to convert to speed. Center, and you're going to see a knife-8 spin. It will be a Cuban A. With a hammerhead on top. Now going into a torque roll. Coming back, tail first through the smoke. With 2 rolls. Okay, but there's plenty more to come. Again, it's necessary to go back up and get some more altitude, which Rob will convert to speed coming back on the down line. Now in aviation, this is a good career for you. Okay, Rob's next move is going to be called the triple up. words have a word called cravata, which means necktie, and this next move is going to be called a cravata because it's going to look like he's making a necktie loop with the smoke of the plane. Watch the smoke that the plane makes, and you'll see. Shabak, which is a Czech word meaning headache, and you're about to see why. That's why they call him the Tumbling Bear. A quick roll here. His friend Eric Schilling inspired this next move. This is called the Schilling Spill. You probably won't see anybody else do this. This is Fish Pass, which is a good chance to take a picture, so please get those cameras ready. This is a roulade with a single turn. And now he's going to come back for the knife edge pass I talked about, so if you'd like a picture, please go ahead and get ready. That's the pretty underside of the plane, which is painted by Bill Miles. And he's going to come back one more time for another knife edge pass. Going from right to left. And this time I believe you'll see the yellow side of the aircraft. But he may be making one more pass, and I think he's going to do a few more rolls. Again, folks, Rob's going to come in to land. Please give him a big wave. We want to thank you again for letting us have the chance to be here today. I hope you all enjoy the afternoon. Thanks again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the second round for Mike Mangold. It's an exciting routine, his Edge 540 state-of-the-art airplane. There he goes, and he pulls up into the Cobra. Vertical as he goes, losing airspeed. Watch as he pushes the nose over, dives down to gain airspeed to position for his next maneuver. Mike is a current member of the United States Aerobatic Team. Spokes on, Mike pulls a flying dragon into the flying saucer maneuver. Mike is just entering what's called a flat inverted spin. Watch Mike as he spins. At this time, Mike is gaining up airspeed to fall to go to the next maneuver.
Yeah, I saw that.
Force fighter pilot. He flew F-4s for 10 years, a Wild Weasel. Mike graduated from the United States Air Force Academy, during which time he was stationed in Korea. Whee! Watch him tumble as he goes. Oh, hand over head. Position himself for what's called a knife edge spin. There it is, knife edge spin. Watch Mike as he spins it. Tumbles end over end. Mike's going to reposition himself, gain altitude, and come in for a torque roll. Watch Mike as he comes vertically back down, backwards, back in the airplane, down. There he goes. Mike is a Kern airline pilot. Also competes nationally, internationally. In his spare time, raises a family. His spare time. Watch Mike now as he goes into another tail slide. Airplane falls back. Over. There's a negative. Mike has pulled over 9 positive G's here in this routine. That's 5 left way to start. This maneuver is made famous by the great Waldo Pepper. He'll pull 6 negative G's as he comes to this maneuver. There's negative 6. 3. And 4 as he comes around back to the inverted position. The world upside down as Mike comes around. This is called the knife sharpener maneuver. Watch now as Mike gets ready for tumble number 3. There he goes, end over end. Woo! Get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen, as Mike comes around. Mike will demonstrate the cobra maneuver of the airplane. There he comes in, low and slow. Watch for that cobra maneuver as he comes in. Smoke will go on. Up he goes. As he hangs it on the prop, pushes over, dives down to regain airspeed. Mike's going to come by for a couple of photo passes and get your cameras ready as he comes into knife edge. As he rolls around, you can see underneath his belly, he has a window under there, so wave at him. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mike Mangold and Mike Mangold Aerobatics, we thank you for attending the Kern Valley Airshow. It is the Navy's newest frontline tactical aircraft. Building on the combat-proven design of the Legacy Hornet, the Super Hornet has a 30% margin. As you'll note, the high-performance GEM414 turbofan is spooled up to their maximum as Marcia selects afterburner pulls the nose to 6 degrees nose high. In today's demonstration, pilot Lieutenant Kyle Brady, call sign Marcia from Springfield, Utah, and Weapons Systems Officer Lieutenant Daniel Orchard Hayes, call sign Heed, will demonstrate the incredible flight characteristics of the Super Hornet. During the flight, the pair will experience nearly 8 times the normal force of gravity as they maneuver the aircraft to the edge of its operating limit. The Super Hornet is now setting up for a high-speed pass to an idle vertical climb. During this maneuver, the aircraft will approach you at nearly Mach 1, demonstrating the use of speed to surprise an enemy. You may notice the white vapor coming off the Super Hornet, indicating that it is close to the speed of sound. Marcia and Heat will be very careful not to exceed the speed of sound because the subsequent sonic boom would shatter the windows of cars and buildings in the surrounding area. Marcia and Heat are now setting up for a double Immelman. At the completion of their loop, the Super Hornet's agility and power enable it to sustain maximum performance turns in the vertical, taking advantage of altitude that the enemy may not have the ability to use. Now watch as Marcia selects a full afterburner, pulls the Hornet up for the first Immelman, pulls his wings level. show be performed at speeds as fast as 700 miles per hour and as slow as 100. Most of the maneuvers you will see here today demonstrate the aircraft's capabilities in the tactical arena and are employed during combat and training flights. The Super Hornet's engines produce over 41,000 pounds of thrust and full afterburner. This allows the aircraft to sustain 7.5 times the force of gravity in a tight turn. Whether in a dogfight or avoiding surface-to-air missiles, the ability of the Super Hornet to turn in a very tight space gives it a tremendous tactical advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, watch as Marcia and Heed enter from the left, roll into a 90-degree angle of bank and pull the stick into the left for the Super Hornet minimum radius turn. From your left. Marcia and Heed will now give you a close-up view of the Super Hornet in its carrier landing configuration. Pay special attention to the tail hook at the rear of the aircraft. The hook, as it is known in naval aviation, has been designed to stop the 44,000-pound aircraft in just a few hundred feet when catching a wire aboard the aircraft carrier. Should the hook miss the wires, the Super Hornet is easily capable of taking flight again in just a few seconds. Marcia and Heed will demonstrate the ability to perform a half-Cuban 8 as they clean up the aircraft. And now look directly to your right as Marcia and Heed fly by in the carrier configuration.
I'll show you this one. See, look, see it's all fat? See it's all fat? All the rest, and see it's all thin? See? It's all fat and it's all thin.
Now demonstrating its ability to turn on a dime, watch as Marcia and Heed approach the field and rapidly pull the aircraft into the vertical. As they pull the aircraft into the vertical, they will then roll the aircraft 90 degrees and pull the nose down to quickly level off, leaving the flight line inverted. This maneuver demonstrates the agility needed to dominate an enemy and win the dogfight. New aircraft the world today come back. Marcia and Heed are now setting up for the high alpha pass. This maneuver will show you the incredible slow speed handling characteristics of the Super Hornet. No other aircraft in the world would attempt to maneuver at this slow speed and nose attitude. However, the F-18 Super Hornet remains completely controllable with 2 digital flight control computers aiding Marcia and keeping the 40,000 plane flying at less than 100 miles per hour. Just past show center, Heed will call for afterburners, and you will see the Super Hornet perform a half-Cuban 8, demonstrating the aircraft's ability to quickly accelerate and dominate the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, from your right, the Super Hornet High Alpha Pass. Coming downward in the half cubanate and rolls the aircraft upright. The naval aviator is not complete until his or her aircraft is back aboard the floating home. The approach to the carrier is often the most dangerous part of the naval aviator's mission. Landing your aircraft at 130 miles per hour on a few hundred feet of moving deck is extremely challenging and a matter of great pride. Ladies and gentlemen, take great pride in Marcia and Heed as they approach for the carrier break to a touch and go. At 450 miles per hour, let's give them a big wave for the carrier break. Notice the landing gear and flaps down for his touch and go, simulating a carrier landing. The Super Hornet you saw here today is one actually used to train pilots and weapons system operators at VFA 122 or more. Marcia and Heed currently serve as instructor aircrew at VFA 122 and spend most of their time teaching new pilots and weapons systems operators how to employ the Super Hornet. Currently, there are 4 operational Super Hornet squadrons in the Navy. Several of the squadrons are presently deployed overseas in support of numerous operations, including Operation Iraqi Freedom. On behalf of the United States Navy, we thank you for allowing us to demonstrate the F-18 Super Hornet here in Kern at the Kern County Airshow. We appreciate your continued support as we defend our great country from those who would do us harm. William Dean of the British Royal Navy, whose hometown is in London. Lieutenant Commander Dean is currently assigned to VX-9 in exchange office from the British Royal Navy. He joined the British Royal Navy in 1985, served in several British helicopter and jet squadrons. He has flown the AEAB for the last 10 years and made several overseas deployments on HMS Invisible with 800 Naval Air Squadron. He and his wife Celia reside in Ridgecrest. He's a hometown boy from London. Certainly greet him from your right, the AV-8B Harrier. pilots participating in the VX-9 today, Lieutenant Darren Fouts and Lieutenant Matthew Sullins, both flying the F-18 earlier today. Darren is from Mesa, Arizona. Joined the Navy in 1996, served in training squadrons VT-6, 2322, and VFA-25. Ultimately, he has served from VX-9 since August 2001, logging over 1,400 total flight hours and 1,100 hours in the Hornet and Super Hornet. He and his wife Tricia reside in Ridgecrest with their daughter. And Lieutenant Matthew Sullins from St. Charles, Illinois, also residing in Ridgecrest with he and his wife Kelly and their 3 sons. We want to thank them for their earlier performance in the F-18 Hornet.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Kern County Airshow. The next voice you'll hear is that of our team lead, Major Steve Will, as he directs the team through the start procedure. Following the simulcast start, the team will taxi out to the active runway individually and warm up for approximately 8 minutes. Once the warm-up maneuvers are complete, the team will return to show center to commence their performance. Please note that once their jets have started, we make a lot of noise, so please cover your ears and especially make sure that all of the children's ears are protected as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the #1 cockpit of the Snowbirds, it's a great pleasure for us to be with you here at Kern today and to be the first jet team to ever fly at the Ridgecrest International Airshow. I hope you enjoy the show today. Snowbirds, check in. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 10 seconds.
Wow.
to the 100th anniversary of powered flight. With all 9 aircraft separated, watch to your left and right and listen in as the daring solos return for the night best pass, the first of several head-on passes. Attack! Solo, Snowbird 8, Captain Wayne Mott of Miramichi, New Brunswick, a former maritime helicopter pilot with more than 5,300 hours of flying experience. To your right is our opposing solo, Snowbird 9, Captain Chuck Mellon from Edmonton, Alberta, a former military flying instructor with over 2,500 hours of flying experience. The solos are now returning to center stage for the Code 360, followed by the Cobra departure. This is the tightest formation flown by the team. Flying immediately behind the team lead in the line of stern positions are Snowbird 4, Major Steve Melanson from Moncton, New Brunswick, a former maritime helicopter pilot and military instructor pilot with more than 4,600 hours of flying experience, and Snowbird 5, Major Chris Hope of Blenheim, Ontario, a former military instructor pilot and Air Force Standards pilot with more than 5,000 hours of flying experience. The formation is now changed to feather for the beautiful feather loop. solos. Snowbirds 89 are joining the main formation in preparation for the Concord Combo. The Snowbirds would like to take this opportunity to salute all Canadian Forces and U.S. Forces personnel serving throughout the world. Members of the Canadian military are presently fighting the war against terrorism in Afghanistan and the Persian Gulf. Canadians are also serving in peacekeeping operations in the Golan Heights, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Sinai, Sierra Leone, Congo, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Senegal. The team has now adopted the bomb formation in preparation for the spectacular downward bomb burst. The Snowbirds would like to dedicate this maneuver to the people of Kern County for their warm hospitality during our stay. The solos experience a force of over 5 times their body weight. Upon completion of the Cuban reversal, they'll return for the inverted upright cross. solos are now performing a pretzel reverse. Following the reversal, they will close at a speed of over 600 miles per hour for the incredible co-loop. Watch as they appear to cross through each other at the top of the loop. Watch to your right for the remaining 5 aircraft in line abreast formation as they return to perform a well-known trademark of the Snowbirds, the line abreast roll and loop, one of the most challenging formations flown by the team. Flying in the center is our team lead, Snowbird 1. To his immediate right is Snowbird 2, Captain Paul Couillard of Montreal, Quebec, a former maritime helicopter pilot and an experienced military flying instructor with over 2,800 military flying hours. On the extreme right, Snowbird 6, Captain Andy Mackay of Orleans, Ontario, also a former maritime helicopter pilot and an experienced military flying instructor with more than 4,000 military flying hours. To the lead's left is Snowbird 3, Captain Chris Bard of Guelph, Ontario, a former maritime patrol pilot and an experienced military flying instructor with over 4,000 military flying hours. On the extreme left, Snowbird 7, Captain Steve Chadwick of Hamilton, Ontario, a former fighter pilot with more than 1,500 military flying hours. From left and right, watch closely as the line of stern pilots have joined our 2 solos for the stunning 4-way cross. And all the folks from this Airshow Planning Committee for their hard work in organizing the Snowbirds visit to Ridgecrest. Look straight ahead for the next maneuver.
It's amazing. With that saying, you can light up the
today's hearts to all the women and children in the audience with us today. Look straight ahead as the line of stern pilots have joined the solos for the four-plane lag-back cross.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Follow the solos to your right as they regroup in preparation for the incredible double inverted pass. During the course of this maneuver, both pilots will be pressed against their shoulder harnesses by a force of negative 2G. From the right, Snowbirds 6, 7, and 5 are performing the Epsilon in review. Watch as they pass in front of you, tucked one beneath the other. Now look to your left and get your cameras ready as Snowbirds 2 and 3 roll upside down beside Snowbirds 1 and 4.
Baby, cool your jumps is what I say. Crazy as a shot away. You know I look so good. You know I now. Yeah, cause I need some breathing room.
Watch as the entire formation rolls inverted for the amazing double take. Look to your left as the two solos return for the spectacular mirror roll. Watch as they roll, canopy to canopy with just a few feet of separation.
Baby, cool your jumps is what I say.
effortless. Changing formation while performing aerobatic maneuvers is extremely challenging. Look 45 degrees to your right as numbers 1 through 7 change from goose to double diamond formation while performing a loop. Preparation for the final stage of our performance, the solos will once again rejoin the main formation. Leading a 9-plane aerobatic formation requires the highest degree of precision flying. Leading our team is Major Steve Will from North Bay, Ontario, an experienced CFB-18 fighter pilot with over 4,000 hours of military flying experience and 50 operational missions over Kosovo. Are now returning for the magnificent Canada Birds. We'd like to dedicate this maneuver to all the volunteers who worked so hard to make this show such a success. And from Newfoundland to California. Since our formation in 1971, the Snowbirds have performed before more than 100 million spectators. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before the team returns for their final pass of the show, I'd like to direct your attention to the ramp in front of you and take this opportunity to introduce our dedicated ground crew who diligently maintain our aircraft and keep us safely airborne day after day. They are Snowbird 1 Alpha, the crew chief, Sergeant Dave Sharp from St. Albert, Alberta. Snowbird 2 Alpha, that's Corporal Terry Allen from St. Louis, Prince Edward Island. Snowbird 3 Alpha, Corporal Rob Audi from Penticton, British Columbia. Snowbird 4 Alpha, Corporal Chris Peter Martin from Toronto, Ontario. Snowbird 5 Alpha, Corporal Ian Rinsby from Climax, Saskatchewan. Snowbird 6 Alpha, Corporal Brian Willett from New Lischer, Ontario. Snowbird 7 Alpha, that's Corporal Sean Stone from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Snowbird 8 Alpha, Deputy Crew Chief, Master Corporal Jean-Marc Rien from Montreal, Quebec. Snowbird 9 Alpha, Corporal Cam Singh from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Snowbird 11 Alpha, Second Lieutenant Chantal Legault from Richelieu, New Brunswick. Snowbird 12 Alpha, Corporal Lori Walsh from Montreal, Quebec. And on video today, Astro Center, Snowbird 10 Alpha, Master Corporal Rick Probitz from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Also here with us is our Public Affairs Officer, Captain Stephanie Walker from Point Claire, Quebec. At home in Moose Jaw, we're proud to have 50 other members of 431 Squadron who provide us with the logistical and maintenance support necessary to bring our show to you. And now for their final pass of the show, look straight ahead for the 9 twinkling lights of the 9th plane, line abreast formation. Watch as the entire team flies wingtip to wingtip at only 8 feet of separation. The Snowbirds are the only demonstration team in North America to fly this formation. Now listen in as the team lead dedicates this maneuver.